Hey everyone, this is General Storm here with yet another entry in my Villainous review series. Today I will be going over the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland. Once again, if you haven't seen the other ones, I recommend watching them, as they go through most of the stuff I'm going to be talking about here. So with that said, let us begin. As per usual, we'll begin with the Queen of Hearts' villain guide. It pretty much just talks about how to, like all the other ones, it just talks about how to achieve her goal, and it has a pretty awesome picture on it. Not really much to say about it. Like I said, just kind of talks about some strategies to help you achieve your objective. So yeah, pretty cool. Not much to say though. Moving on. The Queen of Hearts has a pretty cool piece. Obviously it's based off of her dress, heart, and a crown. It's a cool piece. I like the red on it. I like the red coloration. It's a pretty cool piece, honestly. I really like it. I don't know if I like it as much as Jafar's piece, but it's a pretty cute piece, and it fits the character very well. Yeah, not much to say. Just all around, whoops, a very cool piece for a pretty surprising pick for one of the first villains. I mean, I guess it makes sense. She is one of the most popular ones, and I mean, she's easily among the funniest. But yeah. Anyway, let's move on to her board. Like all the villains' boards, the Queen of Hearts has 4 locations relating to her film. Her objective is have a wicket at each location, successfully take a shot, which I will explain in a little bit. For her locations, we have the courtyard, which allows you to discard a card, any amount of cards, move an ally or item, gain 2 power, and play a card. The hedge maze, which allows you to play 2 cards, use an activating ability, and gain 3 power. There's the Told You Would, which allows you to do a fate action on another player, play a card, discard your hand, and vanquish a hero. And the White Rabbit's House, which allows you to play a card, gain 1 power, use activated abilities, and do a fate action on another player. Overall, her actions are pretty simplistic compared to the other ones, mostly because her goal really isn't that complex compared to some of the other characters I've talked about. I mean, she's definitely, in my opinion, another pretty decent beginner character. And I think that's good that there's a couple of characters in this that are fairly simple compared to some of the more complex ones like Jafar or Ursula. In order to complete Queen of Hearts' goal, you need to have 4 card guards in your realm, and obviously this is only one kind of it. But basically what you need to do is you need to pay 1 power on activate area, and if you turn your card guard this way, it is now a wicket rather than a card guard. So yeah, you do need 4 of them in order to be able to successfully take a shot, and they all have to be at different locations. So, yeah, there's not really much to it, you just kind of have to play them. Though you will have allies, or not allies, heroes that can prevent these turning into card guards, and we'll discuss some of them when we get to the hero section of the board. I mean, of the video. But yeah, so yeah, all you have to do is play 4 of these guys to each location, and you should be good to go. The next card you would need to be able to complete is obviously the card that you need, an effect called Take the Shot. And what it does, if there's a wicket at each location, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. If the total cost is less than the total strength of all your wickets, you make the shot and win the game. If not, discard the 5 revealed cards. So, for example, let's say you have 4 card guards with a strength of, like, 6. If the 5 cards you get all cost in a total less than 6, you would win the game if you play this card. But if there were more, you'd have to discard, and all of the cards you drew, and keep going, and try again later. So that can be a little annoying. That's probably the hardest part of the goal, just being able to get the right amount so you can win the game. You don't always have to pay an activate space to be able to turn card guards and wickets. There are a couple heroes that do that as well. But the card that helps you the most with this is By Order of the Queen, which allows you to convert up to 2 card guards to wickets for just 2 power. So yeah, overall, she's not too complex when it comes to completing her goal. The biggest problem, honestly, is just getting the right amount to be able to use to take a shot and winning with it. So anyway, let's get down to the heroes in Queen of Hearts' deck. The Queen of Hearts has 8 unique heroes in her Fate deck, and as usual, I'll be going over all of them and their ability, going from the one with the least strength to the greatest strength. The first hero we have with a strength of 1 is Dormouse, and Dormouse, its ability is simply Dormouse cannot be shrunk. What shrinking does is it actually allows the hero to only cover 1 fate action rather than 2 by turning them slightly to the side. That doesn't really help in the long run though always, and really, you can just get rid of her. She only has a strength of 1. So yeah, not too hard to get rid of the Dormouse. And it's probably the easiest, probably the least effective hero in the deck. So yeah, not other than blocking actions. It's just kind of annoying. With a strength of 2, the Caterpillar is our next hero. And what his ability is all allies at Caterpillar's location get -1 strength. This might not seem that big of a deal, but if you're going to play Take the Shot, it's up to the cost of their strength. So the Caterpillar, if he's in play when you play that card, can actually disrupt your progress if you don't get the right amount of if you don't get the right amount of strength for it. Again, though, if he's played pretty early on in the game, he's not that big of a deal. Just get rid of him and you should be fine. Our last hero with a strength of 2 is the White Rabbit, and this one is annoying because the cost to activate card guards and wickets is increased by 1 power, meaning that if you want to activate your card guard and not a wicket yet, it usually costs 1, you have to pay 2. And while this isn't that much power, that can add up very quickly to you losing a lot of power. So yeah, he can be very annoying. Again, though, he's not too much strength, so you should be able to get rid of him fairly easily. Our first hero for strength of 3 is Dodo, and he's actually probably the most obnoxious hero in the deck, because as long as he's in your realm, wherever he is, the card guards cannot be converted to wickets. So if you get him right at the end when you're about to get 4 wickets, and they played him to a location that doesn't have a wicket, that's going to be annoying because you'll have to waste allies to get rid of him. Again, though, he only is a strength of 3, so he's not super hindering, but he is still fairly annoying to deal with his ability. The March Hare also has a strength of 3, and gets +2 strength if Mad Hatter is in Queen of Hearts' realm. Again, his ability really doesn't do anything other than, give him more strength if only if the Mad Hatter is in his realm, in your realm as well. And, the only thing March Hare does is cover up actions, which can be annoying, but, again, that's not as bad as most of the other abilities. So yeah, he's really not that bad of a card to be able to get. Our last hero of strength 3 is Mad Hatter, whose ability is very similar to March Hare's, where he just gets +2 strength if the March Hare is in the Queen of Hearts' realm. Pretty much I have nothing else to say about Mad Hatter. Again, he covers up actions, that's really all he does. So yeah, he's not too big of a deal when it comes to most of the other heroes. But his strength can make him a bit of a hassle to deal with. But again, he's not as annoying as the next 2 heroes in my opinion. With a strength of 5, Alice, the main character, ability is Queen of Hearts cannot move allies or items. This may not seem that bad at first, until you realize that there are some that if, for example, you need to defeat characters, you can't move them to that location. So you have to just keep playing allies until you have enough strength to defeat certain characters. And in her case, she's 5 strength, so that can waste a lot of allies just getting rid of her. On top of it, she also blocks action, so, I mean, there's motivation to get rid of her right there. The final hero, also with strength of 5, is the Cheshire Cat, which is kind of weird that he's a hero, since he wasn't really a hero in the movie. But, I mean, I get it. And when Cheshire Cat is played, you may convert up to 2 wickets to card guards. Which is annoying, but when you defeat the Cheshire Cat, you may convert up to 2 card guards back to wickets. So, it balances out if you defeat him. That said, though, he does have a strength of 5, so you may just want to leave him instead. As a whole, though, I think Queen of Hearts' heroes are very, very, like, range in how annoying they are. Some of them are just kind of annoying because they block actions. Others have genuinely hurtful abilities. But yeah, not really much else to say about the heroes. Now we can move on to the Queen of Hearts' allies. The Queen of Hearts has 6 unique allies in her deck. And once again, I will be going over all of them from the least strength to the greatest strength. The first allies with strength of 2 are Tweedledee and Tweedledum. And they cost a total of 3 power to play. Their ability is Tweedledee and Tweedledum are not discarded when they are used to defeat a hero. So, basically, they just stay in your realm all the time. So that's actually they're pretty useful. I'm not 100% sure why they're allies. I mean, they were annoying in the movie to Alice, but, I mean, they weren't actively evil. I don't know, I guess probably they didn't fit with hero category, though, since they were actively more, like, antagonistic to Alice than most of your characters. But yeah, they're actually pretty useful despite only having a strength of 2. So, if you get them, it's a good idea to play them. With a strength of 2, the King is our next ally, who has also is a cost of 2 to play. And the cost to play card guards is reduced by 1 power. So, for example, the card guards that cost 1 power to play, you wouldn't have to pay for. Or the card guards that cost 2, you'd only have to pay 1 power for. So, it's pretty useful. Especially if you want to save on power for, like, activating and take the shot card, which costs 4 power. He's a good one to get. All of the card guards have the exact same ability. If you pay 1 power to activate it, you can convert this card guard to a wicket or back to a card guard. And really, I'll just kind of breeze through them. The first one is Card Guard Club, which costs 1 power to play and has a strength of 2. There's Card Diamond, which also has a cost of 1 and a strength of 2. Also, I did forget to mention there are 2 of each of the card guards. So, if you get rid of 1, there's probably another one in your deck somewhere. There's Card Guard Heart, which costs 2 power and has a strength of 3. And there's the card guard Spade, which has a strength of 3 as well, and also costs 2 to play. Overall, I mean, the card guards are the most important ally because you need them to complete your goal. They're not super... I mean, their abilities aren't that great, considering you need to have them as wickets. But, you know, obviously, they're important to the game. Side note, I always loved the design of the card people when I was younger. I don't know why, but they just look so... They look cool. I don't know. There are 3 other cards I want to discuss in the Queen of Hearts' deck before I end the review. Those being Off With Your Head, which is a cost of 3 and allows you to defeat a hero with a strength of 4 or less without getting rid of allies. So obviously this one's pretty useful if you don't want to get rid of allies. I mean, it doesn't affect Alice or Cheshire Cat, but it's still a good card to be able to get rid of allies quicker without heroes quicker without wasting allies on it. There's Very Merry on Birthday, which costs no power and allows you to gain 1 power for each ally in your realm. So, again, very useful if you want to get more power quicker. And last but not least, there's the Spear, with a cost of 1. And when Spear is played, attach it to an ally, and that ally gets +1 strength. So you can actually attach this to a wicket, which gives it more strength. And, that's very useful because it gives your card guards more strength and a better chance of you winning with Take the Shot. So, yeah. That's kind of it. I'll just give my thoughts real quick in a minute, and yeah. Well, definitely not my personal favorite character to play. I still think the Queen of Hearts is a very fun character to play, and she's also a pretty good beginner character, as her goal isn't nearly as hard as Jafar or Captain Hook or Ursula's. So I'd say she'd make a good starter character, much like Maleficent and our next character, who I'll do next time. So yeah, she's probably, honestly, out of the Frito, she's probably the second hardest. So yeah, that's my review of the Queen of Hearts' Villainous game. Next time, we will actually be doing the last character in the first pack, then I can finally move on to the second pack. So, yeah. If you enjoy, make sure you like the video, and, yeah, I'll see you all in the next one. Have a good day, and bye-bye.